excellent camaraderie, I should say, online and people getting benefited. And I would like to also take this opportunity along with you to thank Sagar, who has been really hand holding the programs whenever you have been traveling and so on. But the best part here is that in spite of all the personal commitments, all your other exigencies, you have never left this out. And I'm so pleased to see that this is the 25th session that we are having of Sit Chat. So, how did Sit emerge? Well, the reason I am also carrying this Rotary background along with me is that this is one of the main reasons SIT was formed or SIT was formed. SIT is an abbreviation for Startup Ignition Team. So I'm not sure if everyone here knows me individually. So let me take a moment to give a brief about myself. I am Manoj Kabre. I hail from a place called Jalgaon in Maharashtra, but have been away from Jalgaon since 1986. So I've been traveling multiple places, and over the last 21 or I think 22 years, I'm based in Bangalore. I work as Vice President Sales and Marketing at a company called IndoMIM, where MIM stands for Metal Injection Molding. That's the core technology that our company deals in. And incidentally, we are the world's largest company in this particular technology. All in all, I have been in manufacturing field for the last 34 odd years, of which about 29 years have been in marketing. So sales and marketing is something which I am always passionate about, and that's something probably which comes naturally to me. A little bit of penetration of that happened while formation of SIT. Me and thanks to LK, who has been my companion right from the days we thought about this entire movement, I should say. And then, of course, there were a lot of Samaritans like all of you who came on board. And that's how this SIT platform was formed. So, like I always like to call it, it is of the people, by the people, for the people. It's very much similar to democracy. So, the whole objective why I started this was that I realized there were a lot of startups who were coming off to me and asking for some help, some mentoring, or some contacts, some strategy with respect to sales and marketing, with respect to export, with respect to expansion. And I realized that not just me, but there were many around us who have the wherewithal, who have the inclination to help them. So we just started getting people along. I spoke about this to a few people, and most of them responded in the positive, saying that looks like a good idea. Why don't we make a little forum where we would be able to communicate with each other and so on. So we started. WhatsApp was new those days. We started on WhatsApp because we realized that WhatsApp is going to be a great platform for us. And we started adding people. Anytime I see a news about any startup in Economic Times, which I am a regular reader of, or on LinkedIn, I would reach out to that person and introduce that person to this particular group. And then extended network of mine also started doing that. And we were able to just add people, 200, 400, 500. And incidentally, WhatsApp also continued to increase the capacity of WhatsApp. And today we have the capacity of 1024 on the WhatsApp group. And I think we have close to that number in the first group. But then realizing that this would not really take us too long, a good idea came from some of our colleagues who are a part of the governing council that we have formed. We said, okay, let's start another group. So I think another group also has about 200 or 250 members. The whole objective here is that it's a good networking platform which allows all of us to solve problems for startups. And this way, we are able to also learn a lot. Many times we see that people post some difficulty or a bottleneck, and there is one of the SITN who has already gone through this particular problem in the past. So it is very instant answer from that particular SITN. And this way, we realize that the group has become, in a way, networking and helping group. So we call this group as a giving group. And that's also the Rotary connection. So let me start sharing my screen in case I'm able to. Let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, Manoj, visible.
Okay, so thanks to LK again for getting this logo designed early on when he was running his company, the IT company, which of course he has already sold off. So startup ignition team, the team that triggers. So a little bit of vision, he said we would be a one-stop solution provider to startup aspirants from tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 towns. Looking into the past, the 2nd January 2016, and the first meeting took place on 6th February 2016. We said networking is the goal, but beyond that, as I was mentioning, we would share business success story, sharing challenges, seeking help. But overall, we will focus only on information exchange related to startup, investments, opportunity, and of course, business as a whole. So I said there are 4 focus pillars. And these 4 focus pillars are on the screen. One of them is collective wisdom. That's what we all do here. The second one is best practices and case studies. The third actually is the original objective, that is networking. And last but not the least, we would work on target basing. So wisdom, I think the whole funda here is we grow through service. And how do we do that? We all realize that knowledge capital is supreme. Looking at the current digital footprint, we realize that that's an excellent medium. Wisdom with an aim to provide service, to solve problems, which also incidentally helps us gain experience. And more so, we are considering academia industry interface in a larger context. When we talk about best practices and case studies, we have been doing that we should first choice for the industry around us. There are a lot of have seen who to be evangelists. So evangelism should be leveraged because each one of us our own unique style, right? And we differ, but we still can be diverse and still converge. There is a huge repository which we have formed already. We want to on brand image and want to share as many case studies as possible. Network. You hope utilize to align talent needs, not the productivity enhancement, right? We all should definitely realize we should focus enhancing the productivity, use best from various countries. I mean, my great supporter, Money from US who's here. He's sitting in US and supporting greatly to this platform since the first day that we of talent. I think there is a huge scope. All of us can talent. Target-based working, I think I work in smaller group. I've made a little attempt putting up little chapter. Some of are doing excellent. I mean, great job by Sagar, great job by Jig, by Archana, by Madam. We are improving the roadmap, taking smaller hits at them and stabilizing the group. But what is more important is that we should, and of course, the job of measure anything we monitor for sure in the right. So just to give a snapshot, probably have strength of 700. As I said, local have been established. You see on the screen 6 locals which are active and which is getting done. Of course, I have not made mention of Mysore here because chapter under Bangalore. I think an excellent initiative by Dinakar, part of it, chat session have been posted on this page, and each one of these sessions to that what start as an to be focused to 1, 2, 3. Few have already spoke to Mr. Ashok, and this is his idea or his way of working. Pick up 1, 2, 3, 2 or 3 tasks at hand, complete them, then go for the next 1, 2, 3. So he has been very, very silently following what is happening in startup team, and he's a wonderful supporter to all of us. Anybody wants his number would be pleased to share with you. We have spoken to him, and he's a one who has been supporting us, encouraging us, and looking forward to a great success of SIT. Thank you so much. I hope, Dinakar, I have done within the 20-minute slot that you have asked me to stick to. Over to you.
Absolutely, Manoj. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. It was very inspiring, and as usual. See, I will start with a question and others can follow. See, it is the opportunity to talk to Manoj live and get recorded so that you can also become visible, which is one of the primary objectives of Sit Chat. See, Manoj, I would like to ask you, today we are doing the 25th episode of Sit Chat. What do you think, or where do you think we would be when we would be doing the 100th edition of Sit Chat? What do you think we would accomplish, in your opinion?
Great question, Dinakar. I would not say that number of members would be the real way of testing our success. I think number of success stories could be a good way. And like I said in one of my slides, we should be the first choice for the industry. When I say industry, I'm just referring to the entire organizations that we have around us. So I think if there is any problem that anybody has, they should just say that, okay, I think go to SIT, they will solve your problem. That's where I look forward to seeing us.
That's a very grand expectation. And how do you think, what would be the key drivers to take us there, in your opinion?
See, first driver is think big. Anyway, you have to think. Why not think big? Right? That is point number 1. Point number 2, I think we have to converge more. I mean, our governing council of 16 members is an excellent group where we are able to discuss some of these things. Our local chapters have been performing beautifully and they are able to really converge very well. So the word of mouth is certainly doing a great job. More and more people are getting to know about SIT. Today, I was at an exhibition at BIC. Believe me, there is somebody who came to me taking reference of SIT. right?
Oh,
Saying
okay.
that we are together on that. But I was so elated, believe me. I was so very happy listening to that, because he was able to kind of place that looking at me, although I was standing at my company's booth. So that was good. So I think we all keep doing this. We all talk about SIT to 3 people every day. Job is done.
Wow, superb. Now, anybody else wants to ask any question, comment, share your experience, please go ahead. But before doing so, please introduce yourself, and then you can comment or ask a question, or give a recommendation, whatever that you feel is appropriate.
And while somebody is asking, I think I would like to again place on record the support by Milind Joshi from View My Records. I think he spoke to me, I remember, about 5 years back on doing something. And I'm sure you and Dinakar, you and him have already had some discussion in the background and would come forward with some recommendation how we could really take that forward to drive the digital footprint.
Yeah, absolutely. Sagar, you wanted something or what? You raised the hand and after that suddenly lowered it. You don't want to ask, or you want to ask something?
I'll ask a little later, Dinakar.
Okay. So, Milind, you want to say something? Please go on.
We had actually an hour or two meeting within myself, Moini, and Dinakar on this, what we can do, what we can achieve, and move forward on it. So another week's time, you should hear from us in terms of how we want to progress on this.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Actually, I'm running low on battery, so that's why I switched off video.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
no problem at all.
Mani,
yeah,
nice
Mani,
to
please go on. Mani,
Yeah.
hi,
Manoj. Hi, Dinesh.
Hi.
Dinakar, nice to meet you. Manoj, I have a question for you. I know you've been fantastic in terms of behind the scenes organizing Sit Rasoi or the Sit Kitchen, right? The core team, as you put it, to work together. What are your learnings from Rotary or business or other ways of organizing where a volunteer community like Sit can prosper with the help of the Rasoi that you have pulled together?
Wow. Your question itself takes some time for it to sink into my mind. that's the beauty of a coach. Yeah, I think the learning, as you would agree, is one is again that joy of giving, right? Before you are able to expect what you can get from the chapter or from the platform, you ask yourself what you can give. I mean, that is the reason the introductory standard note which I have made clearly says that this is a giving platform. And we debated over it in the past also during one of our meetings, saying that is this right? But I think most of the volunteering groups which have succeeded, I mean, even taking Teach for India or even the Nipun Mehta group that you have been regularly part of, I think most of the groups I have seen have succeeded only when more and more people are aligned on this particular single pillar of giving. I mean, Rotary is an excellent example for that matter. A very large organization, more than 1.4 million Rotarians all over the world, running it for last more than 100 years. Again, it's more to do with inspiring each other, and I would say in a way nudging each other. Many times, unknowingly or knowingly, I think we nudge each other. What Dinakar did to me was just a little nudge, and that really worked. Right? I was not prepared. I was not even thinking of this particular thing, but I mean, why not? Right? I mean, when he came to me, it was just a small phone call, maybe less than 2 minutes, Dinakar?
Yeah, less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Very
and
quick it was.
It worked. And what I realized, Mani, I mean, thanks for putting this question. It's kind of making me ponder now. What I realized over a period of time, I mean, I'll give you an example. Between me and Sagar, I think we rarely speak. Okay, between me and LK, we rarely speak. But the way it goes is just amazing. You don't need to speak. It so happens the telepathy works so beautifully that things just work. And believe me, if you are able to experience that, this joy is just not comparable, boss. Just not comparable. Is beyond every other joy. I'm sure Amarchandji will agree with me who has been a great support, a great inspiration, a great motivator for me to really grow this platform. I mean, it's just wonderful.
Yeah, Manoj, I think more than anything, see, when you say giving, always people confuse giving with directly with money, you know. So in the case of Sid, most of the giving is not money based. It's about just
Wisdom.
sharing your time. It is not money for you. Possibly it is the money which could have been time which could have been spent in earning something, but then there is no cash outflow as such. Or it could be connecting somebody to somebody else, which is again giving. So maybe from your Rotary experience, Manoj, you being a very what should I say, active networker, if you could make a list of possibilities of giving without any financial obligation, maybe the SIT community can also get ideas what else can be done for giving. Today, the only thing that happens is somebody asks some suggestion, then people give a suggestion. Something like that could possibly be of use to the entire community. Just a list of bullet points as to what all could be considered as giving.
Okay. Good thought. I think I'll work on this and try to put a little crystalline structure to it and post it sometime.
Sure. Great. Super. Yeah. Sagar, you had something. Mani, you want to have anything else? Any other comment?
Manoj, thank you for doing this, bringing such people together. A good friend of mine introduced me to a person called Peter Block, who is into community building for the last 40 years. And he talks about the function of a leader is to bring people together. And that's all, right? Yeah. You have done a fantastic job of bringing people together in large groups, in large chunks, and yet they feel very small in interacting with each other. Very few places where there are 1,000 people together and still they feel as 16 people who can come to a conversation. So thank you for doing that amazing job. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
well
inspiring.
said. Well said.
Yeah, Sagar, yeah, go on.
Good evening, Manoj ji. Good evening, Dinakar ji.
Good evening.
Yeah, a little late today to join this wonderful talk of Manoj ji. Always, cherish to listen to him, I say. In any field you talk to him, I think so one man will never say, no, I'm available. I think so. We have a 24/7, 365 personality who's ready to give all his thoughts, good wishes to grow into a stronger community.
All your disciples.
No.
To you.
building community, I think so, is a good thought process today, Manoj. Very much needed after Corona. As I always say, people want to get to know each other. And I think so, as I always say, that networking is not just sending a message on WhatsApp. It's as you connect with people, every day you meet a new person and you talk to him, you learn something more about him. You get together with him. Somewhere down the line, he helps you in a way where you want to grow or where you need his help. I think so. That's one thing that you made this group, SID group, into a wonderful dream come true, I tell you. I have been into several groups across India, but I think so this group, as much as I enjoy, I think so even in my Rotary, sometimes I feel I'm alone, but here I wait, the passion is just wait. When Thursday is there, let's meet. That, so
yeah,
you have
go on, Sagar. Please go on.
Okay.
you have created a good space for all of us, whether exposing their talents and reaching out to people. I think so. I think the best work that you have done, appreciate you for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good evening.
Yeah, Sagar, go on.
Good evening, Manoj.
Very good evening.
Silver Jubilee Pay. Great guest that we can have. Dinakar, that's awesome. Kudos to you. Okay. Now my question comes with a disclaimer. This question comes with the impatient generation like mine. Okay. And what do I want to ask is, I do understand the voluntary organization and its effectiveness, but what do you want to say to an impatient generation like mine, who of course believe in the philosophy of giving, we want to give, but however, there is an unstated purpose that why this community is being built. The entrepreneurs. This is basically about entrepreneurs. Now, what would you want to give a message to an impatient generation like mine, who really want to accomplish over-ambitious generations like us, and we want everything at the same time? What message we want to give, and also want to give you that I am a part of quite a lot of other professional networking groups for business and other services as well. SIT is something different. So your message for my generation, the impatient, over-ambitious generation.
I think come to SIT to build patience and perseverance. I think that's thing. Believe me, there used to be a very small sentence that my teacher taught me in the school. Practice makes a man perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think you keep practicing impatience, you become perfect in impatience. You keep practicing patience, you become perfect in patience. As simple as that. So I think just being a part of SIT, I'm sure a lot of us, including me, a lot of us, we have probably diminished our impatience and substituted that with patience. There have been multiple things which have kind of grown on SIT, and many times it has so happened that people like you, Sagar, have taken good initiative to kind of put that to rest. I think it all happens. Earlier, we used to have those kind of incidences twice or thrice a month. Now, probably they are only once in 3 months. So, I think that's the result of impatience getting transformed into patience.
Okay,
Yeah.
Manoj,
Sagar, go on.
my follow-up question to that is, look, there is a lot of young generation. Now I'm using a clever word called young generation. What should they be actually looking from this platform? Is it business? Is it Gyan? Is it the philosophy of patience, etc.? Because quite a lot of them, they come with a placard that, hey, look, I'm coming here for business. I'm coming here for connect for business. That is what I have faced, both in the physical meetup that I have done and a lot of calls when I get from SITMs. It is written, hey, I am here for business. What would you want to say to this young generation who are coming with written on their forehead, धंधे से मतलब है हमको?
Yeah, I think the one thing which I am advocating to everyone whom I invite, and there is a little small note which I have already posted on the group also. I'm not sure if it is on the description page as well, that this group is for giving. Point number one, right? Point number two, what you need to expect here is you can expect to network with like-minded people, to network with people whom you are looking for, or to network with wise people. Wisdom is something that you can get, because believe me, one thing, as probably Randraji also rightly said, that once you have the right network, most of your job is done, right? You know the right door to knock, and you have a guarantee that it is going to open when it is being knocked. I think your job is done. The problem is there are 99 doors which you knock before getting the 100th one which is going to open. And if you are able to save the time of knocking on those 99 doors, I think you have accomplished a big task. And that is something probably which can happen on SIT. Right? You can see multiple people talking about their request, talking about their requirement, posting it, and within 10 minutes, they are getting 3 or 4 solutions. All of them are validated solutions. So these are the ones which somebody has already tested it, whether it is as simple as digital marketing, or it is something to do with website building, or it is with respect to identifying a chartered accountant, or with respect to a logistics service provider, variety of these things. So I think the main benefit which SIT brings in my mind is that it brings a beautiful, validated network, which each one of us is looking for.
Very true.
I have a small question to Mani, because Mani spoke about volunteer. In fact, that was one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Mani, how do you make voluntary organizations effective? 2 examples of voluntary organizations are Isha Foundation and BNI, for that matter. They are very effective. They are profitable as well. How do you make SIT, which again is a voluntary organization, be very effective?
You brought out one.
By the way, my name is Sagar Maudgal, and Creatrix Design Studio, an architectural design firm, is one of my two startups. We are into architectural design consulting with Creatrix Design Studio. The other one is Potent to Set Consulting. I am into recruitment for manufacturing for sectors. Yes, Mani.
I think Manoj spoke about it so beautifully, and you also added to it by calling out Isha Foundation. So to me, I'm going to quote one more organization called House of Genius Org, which Manoj and we know very well. There is Bangalore, IIM Bangalore has Sai and Aditya have worked on this.
Yeah, I've attended. I've attended that.
Yeah, so that is kind of one of the places where entrepreneurs can come to a place where, as Manoj said, they need to knock on door. Entrepreneurs, the job is to knock on the doors of people who can help them to grow, who can, because they have ambitions, they are impatient, they have to grow. And for that growth, they need a sun, they need a earth who is patient and supporting and providing the nutrition for it to grow and flower and fruit. Right? And what Manoj is building is that ground and that sun, so that you know which doors to knock on, so that when you come the time for growth and being impatient, you are not being taken advantage of. Right? I don't know whether you're seeing that correlation. For entrepreneurs to grow, you need a whole bunch of supporting ecosystem. And this is what we have done in iSpirit as a part of India with Aadhar, and Manoj knows Sharat Sharma very well. There are a lot of other people that Manoj quoted, like Nipun Mehta and other people have done this. So this is a proven system that Manoj is trying to leverage and beautifully build with in SIT. So all the best, Manoj. Hope I answered, Sagar. Otherwise, we can take it offline.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Mani. And anyone else has any question or comment? Yeah, Banu, you have any question? Please go on.
I think Smriti Ram has a question.
Smriti Ram, yeah, please go on.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, this is Smriti. Sorry, keeping the video off because the bandwidth is little low.
Yeah, please introduce yourself, Smriti.
Yeah. I'm from Mumbai, and we have our own CRO into pharma research. We cater to the outsourcing pharma solutions for the generic companies worldwide. So we are having a lab in Thane, and we offer the solutions for generic pharma companies all across the world. My question or my suggestion to the core team is, if we are having so many startups coming on board, has SIT thought of an incubation center?
Yes, I think there is some discussion going on. I'm not sure if Gona madam is here. She is somebody who was driving this subject with a few institutes. So there is something going on this. We are talking to a few institutes because, of course, the major cost in incubation center is land or is enterprise. So that is something we don't want to spend resources on. And there are already a lot of institutes which are looking forward to having a incubation center. So that is something we are discussing. Maybe in about 3 months' time, you will hear something.
Sure.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
Because I am also a part of that
Yes.
activity. We had a proposal with 2 universities where we would provide incubation centers support because SIT has got repository of talent. Okay, that is what we wanted to provide. Now, along with that, there is one particular member of SIT who has already established incubation center in 2 colleges on his own, and he wants, of course, he is open for a collaboration with us. Dr. Samad has established incubation center in Alamein. He has established incubation center in Samuthána College, and UEC is the other college that he is trying to work with. Now, he wants SIT also along with that. And Manoj, you mentioned about Gona. We had spoken and we had proposed to one of the universities in Tamil Nadu. The discussion is happening. And along with that, I also happened to catch up with one incubation center in Bangalore, one of big colleges in Bangalore. Okay, because they were already there, we have offered that. We have got huge repository of entrepreneurs. So Smriti, in as a full-fledged incubation center, probably that is not what is the scope that we are discussing. We want to provide support to the incubation centers which is already existing, and there is a gap. This is what the update I have for you regarding incubation center.
I think, yeah, I agree with you, Sagar, because I think that would be a wise thing to do rather than setting up a sort of standalone incubation center. But in the in the long run, SIT would be helping the existing incubation centers with the talent pool which we have. That's what I feel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Now, Manoj, I have one small thought. See, if you look at SIT, there are so many members. Out of that, maybe in the entire group, about 20 to 25, maybe, or maybe 30 would be active on a weekly basis, 30 to 35. The rest are all dormant. Now, there could be two reasons for this. One is that they are not that familiar. Therefore, they don't feel comfortable to discuss any topic. The second possibility is that they are not people like me and you who have no problem in talking to any stranger, and then we are more extroverted, so it becomes much easier. Now, in the first case, second case, you can't really help. That's the way we are built, so it's a DNA. So we'll forget that. In the first case, how do you think, if as a networker you come to know somebody, and then you got connected with somebody, and after that you know that you can get some benefit from that person. Now, maybe you're asking some question or you're seeking help or whatever it is. How do you go about approaching that person, Manoj, so that the other person will not feel very offended? At the same time, you're also not being very pushy, so that the relationship gets built up without knowing the background of the other person? Or do you first start building a rapport and then meet that person once or twice and then have a conversation offline, get to know the person, and then you start talking about trying to see in what way you can leverage that relationship? Because here in the chat, our Namrata had said one of the benefits, one of the ways somebody could give is through mentoring and guidance. And again, there, if we see in the in our community, our Muthu had tried to organize a relationship between mentor-mentee, which after some time somehow got fizzled out. So that could be basically because of this kind of a inhibition for people to ask and inhibition for people to offer. How do you address that, Manoj?
See, the first thing I would, wonderful question, Dinakar. Thank you so much. I think first thing I would say is that the best example is here, money. Me and money, we have never met. Okay. Both of us are miles apart. He's in US, I'm here in India. We speak probably once in 6 months or once in a year, if I remember right. I don't know when have I last spoken money to you. But I think in-person meeting is something which is not at all mandatory. According to me, first thing we should get this very clear in our head, that in-person meeting is not at all one of the cornerstones for having an effective mentoring or having an effective thing. I have at least about, if I remember right, the total is now 12. I have at least 12 startups who are taking regular mentoring from me. And the amount of time, probably not on a very routine basis, which I am spending is approximately 8 to 10 hours a year per year with them, right? Now, the way I do this is I try and understand what are their interests. So if we go that extra mile and understand, okay, is Dinakar fond of badminton? Okay, I have a badminton news. There is somebody who has won the match. I just send that, just a casual post to Dinakar. What happens? In return, Dinakar makes it a point to read that and thank me. You know why? Because I have nudged your passion. I have nudged your hobby. I have nudged an area of interest, right? Sagar is into recruitment. I know that is his passion. I know that is his, interest. In addition to being a profession, there is some news, some content related to recruitment, which I have identified, which I came across, I have to just remember and send it to him. Believe me, we do this just for 2, 3, 4 people on a day-to-day basis, which, believe me, it will not take you time. It doesn't take much time. And that is the art which probably, I don't know, I thank God for that always, that probably I have been able to, I think Mani will agree with me that I have been able to imbibe that it just happens automatically. People say, Manoj, how are you able to do this? I said, I don't know. How am I able to do? Hari, nice to see you. So Hari probably also will be able to share some things on this, because he has been also doing great job. He's been doing, earlier he was doing just in India. Now he's doing all across the globe. He is going to Germany, he's going to Europe. Everywhere he is able to do this, which probably 15 years back when I met him first time, he was not at all in the slightest possibility a person of doing that. So I think this is something which we just need to pay attention and we would learn it. But again, I will repeat the giving philosophy here, that when I have to send the badminton news to Dinakar, am I not giving? I am giving. So do I have that intent? Do I want to part my time with doing this? Is something, I mean, I don't know whether I have told people that I wish birthdays, my wife always keeps making joke of it with me, for 25 people every day. Okay, every single day I wish happy birthday to 25 strangers. I mean, each one of you may feel he's a mad guy. I don't know why. What is the purpose?
No, what do you mean strangers? How do you get these strangers
It
listed?
comes as a notification to me on LinkedIn. I have about 30,000 connections on LinkedIn, and it comes to me every day. I mean, you go to that birthday page, it's birthday. Just tick, tick, tick करके उसको डाल दो. During my travel, when I am in lift or when I am going, I don't even bother whether that guy is responding back to me as thank you. But there are many who would respond with a thank you, also ask me a couple of questions, and that will engage me with that particular person, and I will write. And you never know. Someday he may become a good friend, or someday some business connection may happen, or many of the SITNs probably are the ones who first got a birthday wish with me, from me, and now later on it really transpired into a SIT connection.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I have answered your question. I think more importantly,
I would like to add, as you told.
Sorry?
Go on, Hari.
I would like to add with the question and what you answered, to add that. Sorry, I came late. I am in Delhi attending the World Solar Congress. Again, amazing people. Today, I spoke with the president of ISES, International Society of Solar. You know, these are all, when we are not connected with them, they are very far. But when we talk to them, they are very near. Now, what is a team, Dinakar sir? So you come up with certain strength, Manoj sir come up with certain strength, I come up with certain strength. I realized everyone cannot do all the job. So it's okay, someone is not able to network. To fulfill that, other people are there. Because you know here, you know, we both came and met you in 2012. And from that time, I was trying to see that how she can also do networking. Yes, I was very strong in that. Yeah, not like you, the kind of energy, the kind of time what Manoj sir put in there is something I don't understand from where he gets that energy and the time also, the kind of job responsibility also he is fulfilling successfully for years and years and years there. So what happened, I realized over time, almost it took 4 to 5 years or 10 years to understand, Kia is a completely different person. She is not like me. But what the job she is doing, I cannot do. I am able to get influenced a bit. Today, whatever strength I have, I decided one thing, I cannot run machine maker, the company what I am running or anything for that matter, alone. But I thought I am doing it like that. But later I realized, and then the growth of mine started. Today, if Ia is deciding that she needs to quit, until unless I found out a person with the same kind of capabilities, I will not be able to do machine maker. So the answer what I would like to give to Dinakar sir is that everyone cannot do networking the way Manoj sir do, but just networking is also not necessary. It's not, it will just assist the purpose. We also need to do a lot of other activities, what Dinakar sir, myself, Mr. Mani, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Hari. Thank you. So nicely said.
Dinakar,
Thank you
I
very
would like
much.
to add one sentence to that.
Please go on, Mani.
So the fact that you are friends with Manoj, I feel that Manoj is the richest person in the world, not because he is
I agree.
Bill Gates or whatever.
I
He
agree.
is willing to give that time and effort and his network. For example, I did not know Harishankarji until Manoj introduced, because he's part of Manoj's network, I came to know him, and now we have a lot of times we have interacted and nudged each other, right? And that whole of, because of SIT, you have Manoj's network open to you, and therefore make use of it, make advantage of it. Because to me, when you feel like asking something, Manoj is the most important person to knock on. He can give. And he has opened up the SIT network for you to leverage. If you are impatient and if you are ambitious, more the merrier. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Mani. Thank you very
Dinakar,
much.
I have a suggestion.
I-
Yeah.
I have a suggestion here. See,
Please go on.
we spoke about a lot about networking, giving, etc. Now, I know the benefits of both networking and giving, being a part of the community. Okay, but what I see that the whole community of SIT might not be at the same level of understanding networking is net worth. Okay, that network, what just Money said, right? The richest man is Manoj because of his network. Would there be something that SIT can do as a session, as cognizance, knowledge, etc., of improving their network by improving their network?
Yeah, of course. We can do a sit chat on that. There is no thing that stops us. We can ask somebody in the sit group itself if somebody wants to talk about networking other than Manoj to really talk about what they are doing. See, we can definitely do that. I'll see if I can look into. Yeah, please go on, Hari.
Sir, networking, see what even network is a network, even for me also. For any salesperson, why we pay money to those persons is because of his network, you know. So we always tell network is network. But I also want to answer on that. It will be very difficult for someone to make them teach what networking is, how networking is. Because it is a inborn quality. Because it will not take for me to befriend you. Just seeing you in this chat, you are my lifelong friend. That's a capability I have, or I don't have inhibitions. Same like Manoj sir. Sagar is also like that. You know, Sagar came to our event in Pune. So these are some of the qualities what we have, and I think very tough to teach someone about network. So this is what Sagar I want to just.
No, Hari, see, it might be tough, but one of the very giving could be that making people aware of the power of networking. That is a suggestion that we should be making pitch, session, or do something very in a routine way that people are going to start learning about networking.
Shall I
In a
tell you
methodical
something,
way.
Sagar? My suggestion to you is you should run a panel discussion on networking where you should have 2 or 3 people who have
Acha.
done wonderful work on networking.
Finally, हम पे ही आ गया ना.
सर
अरे, सब
आप सागर साहब आपको एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ. हमने बहुत सारा काम किया है. वो मनोज सर भी बहुत बढ़िया है. बहुत सारा चीज मेरे को लीड देते हैं. यू नो व्हाई? Because we also need people who are executors. If I am right, Manoj sir, I think somewhere that is a strength point I realized myself. I can execute
Absolutely.
things faster.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe
See, we are all in
one-
a relay. We are all in a relay race, and I think the moonshot thing which Money did sitting there in US, and which we had at Philip Samuel's office. I'm sure you remember, Hari. That
Yeah.
manufacturing moonshot session is a beautiful example of this reciprocation. I
Yeah.
mean, each one of us was so busy, and person sitting in US is able to really drive that entire setup. And that was one of the most memorable programs that we had. Even today, Philip Samuel, if he picks up the phone and talks to me, he says, Manoj, when will you have another session like what you did that day? And he has given me a free access to that idea theater. He says any number of times you can come here and organize programs. The entire thing is on my head.
beer and pizza free.
Correct.
Yeah, I think, Manoj, what you said and whatever we spoke about networking, I have just two comments on that. One is for somebody to network and start giving, I think one has to really become a human being. That's all. Once you become a true human being, naturally giving comes without any difficulty.
True.
And on the networking front, see, in BNI, they have a system called as one-on-ones. Okay, that's the idea which I got. I'll try to launch that in SIT on my own in the next week. The idea is that you talk to some member in the SIT group and introduce yourself, he introduces yourself, then have a chat. Because that could be another kind of a icebreaker without any networking, without any...
I'm not sure if you're aware, Amarchandji does that with every single person who gets added new on SIT. Every single person who gets added new. He has been doing this for the last 6
something
months.
like that, something like that could possibly be a kind of a scoreboard. We said scoreboard, right?
Yeah.
You can have a scoreboard of which member is doing one-on-one with which person and what did they learn about that person. You know, more you post, more benefit you get. Something like that. I need to give a little structure to that and then we launch next week. Yeah, Rashmi, please go on.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Manoj, it's wonderful knowing you. I think I have spent more time with you for 365 days, 365 every day, 24 hours. I know how much of my fingers have pained, but you are a fantastic human being. I always look upon you for networking, which is your net worth. So you have connected me to a lot of people. Dinakar ji, my video is off, so you can't spotlight me. Sorry for that, but yes, since Manoj is here and all of you are doing fantastic job, and thanks for giving a chance to be in that SIT, and wishing you many more SITs like this, 25 branches or 250 branches all over the world. Manoj, you can do it. So I'm nudging you again. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rashmi ji. Anybody else wants to say anything?
सब एक दिन बोलेंगे सर इस अलुमनी से हम निकले अलुमनी SIT अलुमनी से निकले स्टूडेंट ऑफ SIT अलुमनी हमने ग्रो किया है सीखा इधर से we got the interest here they created the interest for us and that is why we are growing today. I think so the hunger has been created by SIT. Let's all grow. Let's have
Yeah,
that hunger
so
grow.
before...
Yeah, I'm Vinod here. I just want to add, thanks, Manoj. I was a bit confused because I'm very new to this SIT. I'm joining from Germany. Manoj introduced me to SIT. Thanks, Manoj, for introducing me. I was a bit confused to what's the purpose of SIT. Manoj, again, thanks for clarifying those things today.
Wonderful. Nice
well
to
explained.
Yeah.
Because
nice,
I was
hear you.
at times I was kind of thinking like, is it another ad medium which people are creating? So sometimes I get that feeling. That's why I was coming back and asking what's the purpose of SIT. Thanks for clarifying that.
Wonderful. So we have attendance from 3 countries today, Dinakar.
US, Germany, and India, or maybe some other countries also. I don't know.
Dinakar
Many who didn't speak.
Dinakar sir, it will be great that if we can also have a session of who just talked from Frankfurt, Germany. So he is last 2 decades he's in Germany and he was working with TI connectivity, and now he started his own startup. And his mission is to
please share his correct contact details, Hari. I will get in touch with him.
Yeah. He's I think LK added him in our group, so I will share you the details to you.
Sure, absolutely. And Manoj, thanks a lot. Thank you so much. We are approaching the end of our 1 hour chat, and today's chat was very lively. I really liked it because of so much amount of participation and engagement in the discussions that we had. And as a takeaway for me, one is to really look at trying to see if we can put up some kind of a structured program on networking. And the second one is to talk about how do we promote one-on-ones in the SIT group. And other than that, it was a wonderful session. And before we close, I always invite our Amarji to say the final word. Amarji, over to you. Please give your final words and then we can close.
Okay. Thank you for that. To say something about Manoj, I think so. I have to think twice. Manoj, you know, as I favorably called him as the Google Manoj. So I think one person who has extremely talented with so much of knowledge and his willingness to share to every member, help them out. Commitment is there. I find with him a commitment to grow. I think so every member, one thing we should learn from him is his commitment to the work. That is we should take that very seriously as to what we do. One, our intent and intention, as I always say, should be very clear if you want to grow. If there is no intent and intention, I think so, however we talk, every meeting we talk, it will not work with us. And so Manoj has been talking much on this for longer periods, and he's always a wonderful speaker with good thoughts, good ideas, and good takeaways for us he gives us. And very supportive at every point of time, be it families, be it personal, be it religion, or be it business, technically, or even travel abroad. Even travel abroad, he has so much connect that the seconds he connects you to reach out to people. So I think so. It's a great SIT is a. People will think yes, people are coming and going. I doesn't bother much for me. People who stay here will lay a very strong foundation, and I'm sure just 1 year we may be covering up this year, but as we grow from 1 year to 2 years, people who have used the services of SIT, they will remember for long, because the foundation is so strong, they cannot shake at us. So I think so they will not be able to shake us up with what we are doing, and many more people will join our group because we are giving voluntary service, connecting people for their growth. I think it's a wonderful chapter. Dinakar sir has been, Sagar, always working behind these fields. Let's all join hands to do some big project. Everyone has so much talent. I think so. We look for talent here and there. We have so much here. Why not we join, make a big MOU? In these fields, we have service. We have multitude companies where we can share our MOU agreements. This is what we give under one roof. You get all services under one roof, SIT. No other company in the world will give you like this.
Wow.
No other company in the world will give you. Understand? So I think so. We should be grateful to God, and let's continue our strong willingness to grow. Collective wisdom, as rightly said, collective. We should, that word very nicely put up. We should all have that collective wisdom to grow. United we stand, divided we fall. So let us not fall. Let us unite to make SIT a more stronger team. In the next 3 years, we will see SIT reaching many heights, and people will come to us, knocking our doors. Sir, where are you? We need you. So I think so. We are still young. People are thinking, either kya hai, either kuch bhi nahi hai. They will little later know when the water in the pond rises, they will come to us. We'll all wait for it. So a wonderful evening. Best wishes to Manojji and the team. SIT has always presented wonderful programs. Wonderful people. I say every time, every session, there's something to learn here on this platform. Some knowledge for everyone. I say if we have that collective wisdom, we will never look back in life. My experience says that. I wish you all the best, man.
Thank you so much, Amarji. With that, Manoj,
Great.
thanks a lot once again. And then a nice evening, and see you all next week then. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Yeah, Manoj, Silver Jubilee पे party कब हो रहा है?
कभी भी